When it comes to horror movies, there isn't a villain more iconic than Freddy Krueger. And the allure of this character is not only that he comes at you, but he comes at you during your most vulnerable point in the day, when you're sleeping. He invades your dreams, and his final attack can be deadly. But are we able to ground this movie within documented paranormal fact? You betcha, and it's probably why this movie hits such an unconscious chord with so many. So with a movie like A Nightmare on Elm Street, let's first dive into the character of Freddy Krueger himself. His backstory unfolds as someone that kills children for fun and is tracked down by the parents of the town, who then burn his house down, which then kills him because he's burned alive in the process. We then see him occupying the dream world throughout the movie to come after the parents' kids in order to enact his revenge. Then when he appears within the dreamscape, he always appears burned and charred from the fire that took his life. Creepy. And if this entire movie scenario happened in real life, I'd have to label Freddy as a demonic haunting. As a ghost behaviorist, I've encountered many spirits that are stuck in the same state as Freddy here. And I know that a spirit retaining this burned body appearance, it's always due to the fact that they aren't able to cope with the way they died or the actions that they've taken in life. The sad fact is, Freddy will always remain forever disfigured until he actually faces his misdeeds and processes those torturous feelings and overcomes them. In fact, I've found that emotions on the other side can really spin out of control to the point where they're projected outwards and even twist themselves into darker forms that crave nothing more than to attack the living. And this is where we see the first scene of this movie open up. A deformed Freddy going after a group of kids to terrorize them, just like a demon does in real life. In the next scene, we're given some key facts to confirm that this is in fact a demonic attack happening.
Forget it, Tina. The point is that everyone has a bad dream once in a while.
We're told their dreams are vivid, it scares them, and there are a series of escalations that happen throughout this movie. And this detail is important because I find that humans targeted by demonic forces are always subject to this ramping up effect. Things always start off small around the house and then snowball into bigger activity. And demons often start their attacks off in the dream world because it's easier to access than manipulating the actual real world around them. And these attacks happen because that's how demons feed. It's the fear endorphins that power them up and cause them to gain strength. Once that happens, they can start causing physical harm to people and really affect the physical world. And all throughout this movie, that's basically what you're seeing, an escalation of demonic strength. In the first few scenes, we see him stalking his prey, slinking above the bed, moving covers, causing some harm, then more harm, then making calls on the telephone, even when it's unplugged. And yep, that's actually been documented before in demonic cases. And if you really study Nancy's dream sequences, you'll notice that Freddy doesn't just go in for the kill right away. No. Why is that? Well, it's because he's playing this cat and mouse game that demons often play with people. Before launching his final attack, well, he's gotta wear her down first. Let's face it, the force is strong with this one. And this movie goes out of the way to show that she's always seen with a Jesus cross around her, which means she's got added protection around her. Plus, she's also the only one self-aware of Freddy's attacks. So yep, he's gotta wear her down, even more so than everyone else in this movie that Freddy pretty easily takes out. In fact, in reality, demons can spend months torturing people and wearing them down because their end goal is to make them want to commit suicide. Yep, this is a sad fact to demons. Not only do they feed off fear, make you go insane, but they also want to drive you to the point of wanting to take your own life. Why? Well, because to them it's a badge of honor and they are well rewarded for it in their circle. Much like a video game, these actions cause them to level up, become more powerful, they can beef up their fear arsenal, and more. Now let's take a deeper dive into some of Freddy's dream attacks. In the first attack, this girl's levitated into the air and sliced to death. Now, even though levitations are common in severe demonic cases, as well as scratch marks, well, killing them is not really their MO, because like I said, demons want their victim to take their own life, not the other way around. In fact, during my ghost hunting interactions with spirits, I found that they are bound by God's universal law from doing so.
So let me ask you this, are there certain things that you're not allowed to tell us?
And believe me, I've interacted with hundreds of spirits and verified this exact information. There are rules to the afterlife, and they have to follow them. You can see this confirmed in my St. Augustine Lighthouse video, which the conversation just blew me away. Check it out. So as far as the first Freddy death is concerned, partial bullshit. When it comes to the second Freddy death, well, he uses bed covers to hang this guy. Okay, so yes, demons can manipulate bed covers. I've had it happen to me dozens of times, but actually wrapping them around somebody's neck to kill them, nope, more bullshit. Now on the third Freddy death, a vortex opens up in Jack Sparrow's bed, and crikey, just in case you didn't know, yes, that is Johnny Depp here. This vortex pulls him in and causes a huge river of blood to explode outward. Nostalgic cinematic moment, yes. Based on actual demonic behaviors, no. So with all these demonic attacks going on, you might ask yourself, why are all these attacks going on in the first place? Well, maybe because halfway through the movie, the mom goes into the basement and pulls out the very item Fred used to kill his victims. Good Lord, woman, what the hell are you still hanging on to that for? This right here reveals that they're not only dealing with a demon, but an attachment demon attached to his items. This is also a documented thing that happens in nasty haunted cases. And in this movie, the only reason he came to this house is because she kept the glove. Ah, you dummy. Now when it comes to the movie portraying Freddy interacting with the dream world, well, they nailed a bunch of things right. Yes, demons lure you into different locations because that's where they're stronger. That's where they want to take you. They're also known to mimic loved ones that bring your guard down, and then they turn into something unpleasant, which causes them to feed on your fear emotions in that instant. And if you ask me, that whole last battle where she brings Freddy out of the dream state, well, it doesn't really work like that in real life. And it's my opinion that I don't think she even woke up from that last dream state she was in towards the end of the movie. In fact, I think she just brought Freddy up a level into that state that exists between the awake state and the sleep state, which I called the subconscious level. Because he would definitely be weaker if he was confronted in that state. And if you don't believe in this subconscious state, well, it's actually supported by science. They've actually tiered the levels of the brain that it goes through from the awake state to the sleep state, and there's actually levels that exist. So if you can bring Freddy up, he becomes weaker. And we can confirm that she woke up, but not fully, with that Twilighty zone-ish ending that shows that, yep, she's still asleep. Ah, that sneaky bastard. So now that we've established that Freddy is in fact a dream demon, how would you deal with this if it came at you in real life? Well, first off, when the girl says, let's grab him and bring him up, yep, that actually works. But not like how the movie portrays. Pulling them up through the dream layers can actually hurt and kill them because these things cannot exist in the real world. Also, blessing your house and purifying it will prevent a demon from thriving there and starting to build energy to the point of causing physical harm. So yeah, having a cross is good, but bless that house, Nancy, if you want ultimate protection from Freddy. If you thought A Nightmare on Elm Street was made up of complete mumbo jumbo, I hope you now see that this movie is based on more truth than you realized.